we did have similar aspirations for one team in their division. And instead of pouring gasoline on it, instead of turning into a wildfire that could not be stopped like they were in California, Gavin Newsom and all the officials didn't know how to put out a wildfire. Well, Jacksonville Jaguars did that, and they took a 12-gauge shotgun. They're like, potential. What is this? I don't know. Let me shoot my foot off, stick it up my ass, blow my head off. Doug Peterson, I'm going to have the worst performance as a head coach of any, and Urban Meyer had just followed me up. I'm going to be 9-8 and only have to beat Tennessee, who is trying to rebuild in Tennessee to win my division. And all I had to do was just coast, and I could have been the 1 seed here. You had some injuries to Trevor Lawrence. Okay. Christian Kirk got hurt. Okay. But last team, even when the Jaguars were good, I'm like, something is missing here. And I don't care what you do in free agency. I don't care what you do in the draft until you take the dog vaccination and IV. This team is not going anywhere. I know you're Jaguars, and that doesn't mean you're supposed to be a bunch of pussies. No, this is the NFL. Put that dog in you. You have Trevor Lawrence, supposed to be the prince who was promised. Doug Peterson, where did that brilliant offensive mind go? I don't know. Out the window, out the door, and then, oh, Aiden Hutchinson's arms are too short. I don't want to draft him. I want to draft a player who is not nearly as productive of him, and it's such a disgrace we can't even say his name on the show. That's how bad it was in Jacksonville last season. So until you take the dog vaccination for me, I can't. It's too much. The Jaguars, they're the most frustrating team, the most infuriating team last year had to be the Jaguars. And
oh yeah,
until they get the dog vax, I don't know if there's any saving them. Can we save them in free agency with the cap?
No, they can't, because their total cap hit is they have $24 million for cap. Look at some notable contracts that they could potentially restructure or cut. They could probably restructure Christian Kirk's deal and free up $11 million. Restructure Brandon Sheriff's deal, save maybe $10 million, or some of these other guys here. Cut candidates, you could see. Some of these guys have some weird ass names on this team. Not gonna lie.
Maybe that's the problem. They don't pass the name test.
Cam Robertson, you can cut and save $17 million potentially. Or you could cut someone like a Darius Williams for $11 million. So some opportunities there. Let's look at their free agents real quick. For the Jaguars, they have Josh Allen. Ooh, I heard he's just as good as Patrick Mahomes. That's crazy.
He's a premier free agent that one of these teams, like a Indianapolis, like a Houston, like a Washington Commanders team. I'm sure Dan Quinn would love to get his hands on a talent like him, but Josh Allen might actually be the best player in the league as far as production. Name Josh Allen. And he was the only bright spot for them, but he's someone who does pass the name test, so they have to do everything in their power to keep him.
Oh, yeah. And then some other notable guys, Calvin Ridley, didn't really pan out in Jacksonville. He wasn't bad, but he didn't nearly live up to the hype. We have Jamal Agnew, replaceable. We have Ezra Cleveland, offensive lineman. We'll see what they do with him.
Do you think he passes the name test, or do you think they need to get their name test ratio back on track and let him go?
Well, if they're going to do the name test thing, there's plenty of these guys that I would walk away from. Jeremiah Ledbetter. Pass.
Yep. No, he has to go.
Cole Van Lennon.
Oh, what?
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Gregory Jr. Get out of here, Gregory Jr.
Is it just Gregory Jr.?
DeWante Smoot. That just sounds like a bust. Trey Herndon. I don't know. Brandon McAnus. Get out of here.
What?
What do we know about the kicker rule? I've told you guys about the kicker rule, but I'll tell you guys again. Brandon McAnus. Get out of here. When you don't have a cool nickname, Young Ho Koo, or Adam Vinatieri, or Matt Gay.
Yeah.
When you have a nickname like Brandon McAnus, Chad Ryland, or Greg the Leg, get out of here.
Bro, the Jaguars, too, that makes so much sense that half their players fail the name test, because what are we going to do? Hey, Smoot McAnus, come over here right now. Like, what? You can't have both of those guys on the same roster. Okay, well, we figured out what's wrong with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
They don't pass the name test.
They all fail the name test. Just because you have someone who passes the name test with flying colors like Trevor Lawrence or Josh Allen or
Christian Jerk.
Christian Jerk. I mean, Tank Bigsby, you want to talk about someone who passed the name test? Travis Etienne, you just like, and then you have McAnus. Let me smoot McAnus. Like, what are we doing in Jacksonville? So,
and at this point, their first overall pick before Aiden Hutchinson will now forever all on the Brickyard be known as He Hell Shall Not Be Named Walker.
he who shall not be named Walker.
Harry Potter reference for those.
Harry Potter. Yeah, so I think, for me, I can't even talk about what the Jaguars need because they need dog vaccination or dog IV injected in the entire franchise. And then also, what you need to fix the most this offseason, the number one thing is you don't have fans. No one wants to go to a Jacksonville Jaguars games. You have a bunch of boomers there who are living off their stupid IRA required minimum distributions, and they're the broke ones because they're living in Jacksonville, and it's one of the cheapest cities to live in the country. It doesn't have any state income tax, so they're literally living there to extend their retirement expenses so they don't have money to go to football games. I don't know. Do what every other franchise who couldn't sell tickets did and relocate. The Oakland Raiders did that, and they were just because they were in Oakland. There's a lot of crime there, and they couldn't afford it. But you're not going to be able to afford new players. You're not going to be able to afford getting to a Super Bowl, hosting a Super Bowl that you're playing in if you don't get fans. So maybe we don't need 3 teams in Florida. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are definitely the only team worthwhile in that state. And then Miami, we'll see what they do with Tua, but it's just time to leave. Go to Austin.
Yep.
Go to Austin. Like, people will go to your games there. Go to any other city that will actually attend your games instead of Oklahoma City Jaguars, Oklahoma City. I don't know. You could do something in Oklahoma there, but it's time to leave Jacksonville. It's time to go.
What have they done in Jacksonville? This is their highlight of Jacksonville. Their highlight was 2007 getting crushed by the undefeated Patriots in the playoff game. Saxonville for that 1 year. It's every single Jacksonville era has been that 1 year Jacksonville team.
Yeah.
You have Maurice Bones Bruce. He was good for you guys. And then other than that, it's been nothing but poverty for your entire time. You guys are cursed.
Yeah.
You guys have nobody who buys your tickets. You have the worst attendance in the NFL, even when you guys are in a playoff game. Move to Austin, move to Oklahoma City, move anywhere else but Jacksonville.